just gonna go around really quickly, introduce yourself and say one thing about yourself that you want us to know. You have an elephant in your backyard, you know, I don't know, you grow carnivorous plants in your kitchen. I don't know what you do. If their body's buried, don't tell it. I don't want to be a witness. You need a mirror?
I have body buried in my bed. Cemetery.
I heard nothing. I heard nothing. Okay, and so what?
So I'm not really lying.
You didn't bury him.
You know what it's
No,
like.
okay.
It'll be wild.
You didn't bury them. That one. I only buried one body, and that was the body of my spider.
Well, I will tell y'all that by far, the United States of America produces more serial killers
Yep.
than any other country in the world.
Yes.
By far. Like all the serial killers live here. So I don't want to know. Chances are you've been in a room with one.
I didn't even know.
I'm just saying.
Terrifying.
Start with you.
Okay. I am Brandy Cobbs. I'm a retired HR worker after 25 years. So now I'm using the second half to do art and music and finally doing something with the writing that I've had sat around for 10 years. So this is exciting.
Nice to meet you, Brandy.
Nobody's in the backyard.
Nobody.
Old house, so
Tell me, don't tell me.
nobody since we've lived there.
I'm Autumn. I ripped the name tag away because it got on my nerves.
Hey, Autumn.
I don't know what to say about myself. I moved here recently-ish, about 2 years ago from California,
Where in California?
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Like, Alabama. Different.
So diplomatic. Oh,
There's people that there's apples you don't want to run into or make juice with in every bunch.
that is true.
But I like the area I've landed in. Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Autumn.
Nice to meet you.
I'm JQ.
JQ.
I do grow things in my backyard, but it's only things that you can eat and that you can look at.
Excellent. Lovely. What do you grow?
I have a huge garden, so I grow veggies. And then I recently started to transform my backyard into my own personal botanical garden. So
Oh,
I have some exotic flowers and things. And this year was my first full-on harvest of stargazer lilies. Now I have over 75 of them.
so
Yeah.
got at JQ's house. That's what I'm hearing. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Donna Estel, and I am an English teacher by trade, but my favorite thing to do for fun and relaxation is to make my own jewelry.
Snaps.
We got a whole empty thing going.
We got a store going.
I mean, if it helps, I actually have a shop.
Something's going on over there.
A lot of things going on.
Bonnie, the shop. Nice to see you, Donna. I won't say meet you.
All right.
All right.
My name is Holly Gorman, and I do YouTube videos with my cat.
So you're the one. I love that.
Probably watch yours at some point.
Probably.
Love me some cat,
So if you want to see him, he's at Polly's Joys on YouTube.
Okay.
He's very popular. He doesn't do a lot. But he's cute.
He's a cat. He does what he wants to do.
This cat
He does what he wants.
All right, Holly, thank you.
I'm Ashley. I am studying hypnotherapy and mind and body psychology with the inspiration to be a depth psychologist and a writer as well. So that's why I'm here. My dear friend, Holly.
Well, nice to meet you. Don't hypnotize us today.
Yeah.
Okay, we're trusting you. Nice to meet you.
Are we telling something unusual or just anything about anything?
You want us to know.
I'm Kim Roper and I direct the Writing Center at Athens State.
I'm
going on today, I'm sorry.
I'm late. You've had a really busy month, many months.
It's been a lot, but I'm glad to be here. I'm glad all of you are here.
Nice to meet you in real life.
Yes.
Ariel, it's the kids' side.
That's right.
Hi, I'm Eden. I'm her daughter. So I'm just like tagging along here. Yeah, nice to meet you. Oh, I crochet.
Oh,
She's doing a workshop tomorrow.
love it. Love it.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rebecca. I'm a big Packers fan. I'm not from Wisconsin though. So it all started here in Huntsville. No, yeah, I was living in Huntsville, Alabama. So yeah, authentic Packers fan. Big Packers, we can talk.
Wow. Yeah, that's the team that owns the team. That's the fan base that owns the team.
Yeah, I do own a piece.
Wow. Big fan. Big fan.
Hi, I'm Charlotte. I'm here with my best friend to tag along with her, but I'm a chicken mom and I like to bake sourdough.
I'm sorry, a chicken mom?
Yeah.
So you raise chicken?
I got 4.
Okay. So let's see, we got JQ in the garden.
Chicken.
We got chickens over, ooh, yeah.
Chicken sourdough.
Yeah.
I'm going back to like.
You'll go.
I suspect we all. It's all a good thing. And crocheting? Oh my God, we have skills there.
We're good.
My name is Tracy. I'm originally from Kentucky. I have 7 kids. They are in alphabetical order. And they are a boy, 5 girls, 1 boy, and they are from ages 25 to 10. I've been married for 25 years. Mhm.
My husband wanted 12.
Oh, Lord.
After the third one, he was like, we don't have to have 12.
I would have found something.
Bless you, Tracy. That's great though, 10 to 25, 10 such a great age.
It is.
I love that.
Yeah, my youngest is mama's boy.
Oh, yeah.
She started with a boy and ended with a boy.
Right.
The 5 girls in the middle,
They're fine.
they're daddies.
Don't get your children. Nice to meet you, Tracy.
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
I'm Ramona. I'm Ramona Hyman, and one of my favorite things, I'm a member of the State's Council, the Alabama State Council on Arts. The reason I'm here, though, is for Kim. I just thank you, Kim, for having this. I really wanted to come. And also, I retired last year. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. I call it repurposing, so this is the repurposing. And I'm a lover of the gym. Yeah. I love the gym. Yeah.
He was one of my first creative writing instructors.
Wow.
Refocusing, I'm using it. I am stealing that all the way.
And thank you, ma'am.
Hello. I'm Berkeley. I create things, a lot of things.
What do you create for you?
Physical items, digital items, games. I make games.
Nice. Nice. That sounds like fun.
It is fun, but it's complicated because there's lots of words and numbers involved.
Yes, I can imagine so. Well, it's nice to meet you, Berkeley.
Nice to meet you too.
I'm still Patricia. You know all about me, so I'll do a plug since we're so artsy and we like cats in here. My mom is one of the vendors. She's Susie Unique Gifts, and she has things with cats. There's some art by me in there. There are like unicorns and dragons and like homemade pet blankets, you know, to keep the claws from scratching your laps. But like little dogs and little cats, so I'm just throwing a plug in for her. She's so nervous. She's her first vendor thing. She's really cute.
Well, it's really nice to meet all of you incredibly talented classroom full of people. All right, so we're gonna get started. So this is about the self and inspiration. So everybody got a mirror, right? Everybody got a mirror. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. When I tell you, this is a time exercise. when I tell you, I want you to look in the mirror for 2 minutes. Take a good look at yourself. Most of us do not spend a lot of time looking at ourselves in the mirror. We brush our teeth, we comb our hair, and then we kind of pass by. But I want you to take a real look at yourself. A real look at yourself. And I want you to allow your mind to go wherever it goes. So you may see your mother's face in your face. You may see your father's ears. You may see the moles you inherited from your grandmother. What do you see in your face? So we're going to look at ourselves for 2 minutes, and then for 10 minutes, we're going to write about what we saw. Okay? So when I say go, you're going to look at yourself and keep looking at yourself. Now, this is not I'm going to pick myself apart and I need to get that surgery soon kind of thing. This is a looking at yourself lovingly. Let's see what you can see in your beautiful face. Okay? All right. And let's see. And put the timer on and go. And stop. Now, you get your tablet, you're putting the paper, whatever you have, and we're gonna write, let's write for 5 minutes. Here's the rules. You don't pick up your pen. You just keep writing. If you can't think of anything to write, say, I can't think of anything to say about my face. But let your brain go wherever it wants to go relative to your face. You may start with your face and end up by talking about your children or your garden or whatever. It doesn't matter. Just 5 minutes and you're just gonna go wherever your brain takes you, starting with your face. Okay? Y'all got it? I got it. All right, let me put the timer on. And go. We have about 1 minute left, so if you have a thought that you're working on, get your thought out. And stop. All right, how people writing, so I know things are coming out. Anybody want to share? We're gonna hear a couple of these, 2 or 3 of these. Okay, thank you. No.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, reminding me that I'm not tall. Show and tell, you do it well. Let the mirror break the spell.
Oh,
Who you are means more to me than the reflection that you see. When I look at the glass, I read more than surface facts. I see what you desire and I can break or inspire. Before you judge my reflection, make sure you do the introspection.
oh, really? That's clever.
Thank you.
Yes, very nice. Very good. All right, yeah, thank you.
Mine makes no sense, but you just told me to write.
No.
There are wrinkles, big pores, lines, indentions. I see age and wisdom, the slump and the slack of the skin and the discoloration. But I also see what I see. When I look at myself, I also see the memories of what caused those flaws, the success of overcoming those challenges. I love my smile, the joy it exudes, and the sacrifices I've made to keep that smile through love, peace, in my soul. My eyes are piercing, and I feel like I can see past my face into my thoughts as I look deeper and longer into the mirror for every wrinkle that represents the passing of worry and the accomplishment of a goal.
It made perfect sense.
Where's the problem?
One more. 2 more. All right, Donna.
Very different. Mine is a strong, sturdy face, not the delicate face that launches ships, but one that has survived a lot. It's somewhere between round and square, the same shape and color as my Mimi's. The mouth is odd, the upper lip is slightly larger than the lower and somewhat off kilter. The eyes, a blue like comfortable denim jeans, show the lines of all the experiences I have had, days of squinting into sunlight and trying to see in the dark. My skin is older now, road maps of life etched into places that used to be smooth. My cheekbones are still strong and my brows still arch to punctuate every random thought. It's a lived-in face, familiar and agile with expression.
So sometimes when you stuck, I don't believe in writer's block. Writer's block means that you probably are not able to write what you want to write, but you can write something. Because you can sit down and you can say, I'm sitting at my desk and I'm looking out the window. There's a fox walking by or whatever. And as Frost said, way leads on to way. So when you're stuck, just start writing where you are. And because of the way our brains work, they're going to take you somewhere. Maybe not like Autumn to a full-fledged poem, but they're going to take you somewhere interesting and probably somewhere you didn't know you were going to go. So we start with the face and we end up with the appreciation of our smile, of what we've been through. We start with our face and we start seeing other people who have come before us in our face. So here's a great exercise to do when you want to just do a little exercise in the morning to get your writing juices flowing, and who knows where it will lead to. I think Patricia said she may have to steal this, and I'm going to, full disclosure, I stole it from Frank X. Walker. And after we did this, I went up to him, I said, Frank, I'm stealing that. He said, no, you can't steal it, I'm giving it to you. So there you go. But why start with looking at ourselves? Writing poetry is about looking at the world carefully, the particulars, the particularity. We each have a story, and our story is different, right? I had 3 children. I didn't have 7. But I bet we could have a lot of stories to swap about the joys of raising teenagers. You know? And I can tell my story, and someone in here can relate to it. Because you've had a teenager, because you've been a teenager, etc. And so it's the particularity. Writing is about looking at the world carefully. And this looking usually begins with the self. You got to look at yourself. People can read things and tell whether or not you're being honest. It doesn't have to be true, because there's a difference in honesty and truth. Are you being honest? Are you being honest to the human experience? And so when we begin to look at ourselves carefully and become honest with ourselves, we become a better writer. So good poetry has a point of view. It has particularity. It is about something. It is about something. And so if you want to write about, fluffy clouds, okay, if you want to write about fluffy clouds, you can do that. But just know that poem needs to be about clouds, showing us clouds in a way that we have never seen them before. Because we all know what a cloud is, right? If you're going to write about daffodils, then it needs to be Wordsworth's I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud, which is a way of using daffodils to talk about inspiration and melancholy, right? It's not about daffodils at all. It's about how nature can inspire us long after we have seen it. It discovers something. So when you write something, you should discover something you didn't know about your faith, about yourself, about the world. And because your reader needs to have the experience of discovering something. Look, there are only 5 stories in the world, right? Love, revenge, rage, joy, right? Murder, right? Mystery. And so we keep telling those same stories over and over and over and over and over and over again. So you have to discover something. Don't tell me the same story. Your particular point of view is going to give me another view of that story, right? So a point of view is rooted in the poet's understanding or willingness to explore the self. So that's what we're going to be doing today.
Please put your thing next to the more to share the green button at the top of there. Oh, yeah, you can just use the next slide. You clicked on the bar last, so if she tries to switch over on the sheet, she's gonna have trouble.
You gotta click her back into her program.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, your last click was on the bar.
You won't be able to just use the keyboard.
Right, you should just be able to hit the arrows, but you gotta click on the white part first.
Is this the slide version?
Yep, there you go.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you. Right there.
All right.
Perfect. Thank you.
Just click the arrow.
Just click the arrows. Okay. All right. So an epistolary poem, we're going to do epistolary poems today because they're usually quick and you usually have somebody in mind. So epistolary poem is a poem that takes the form of a letter or a note. It's an epistle. An epistle is a letter. All right. So an epistolary poem may be formal or informal, but their poems are of direct address, meaning when you're writing a note, you're writing it to somebody. Dear Kim, I may be late because I've been stuck in traffic in Birmingham for 2 hours. And I'm glad I don't have a gun in my car or people would be dead now. Exactly. And buried in Berkeley's backyard. Okay. So a poem, so you are writing to somebody or to something. Okay, because it doesn't have to, you can say, dear love, why have you done me wrong? They read very much like letters, So it could be more formal like a letter, or it could be more loosely so. Like it could just sort of be implying a letter. Can take on any subject, love, politics, environmental causes, whatever. Can be addressed to real or imagined people, characters, or even to an idea. Dear Justice, dear Happiness, dear the second grade teacher I wish I'd had. May be playful, could be serious, could be funny, could be philosophical. And it's an opportunity to explore an idea, like the nature of regret, the importance of X, what you wish you have known, you wish you would have known or said or done. Have you ever been in a situation where somebody said something to you and you just couldn't think of anything, and then an hour later you said, I should have said. Right, here's your chance. Here's your chance. I wrote a poem called To My Neighbor to Whom I Gave Cancer. And so it's a poem about this woman who blamed everything that happened to her on me and my family for no apparent reason. And was always turning us into various places, like because we had a rental property in the grass. I promise you, she took a ruler and she said their grass is like a quarter inch longer than the whatever. But I wrote to her, who was also struck by lightning twice.
That was your fault too, probably.
Oh yeah, but you know what? God was trying to tell you something, lady. Stop being such a little witch into the neighborhood, right? What X meant, but it didn't help.
Like that?
Lost her short-term memory, so she carried around a little notebook so she could remember how to harass people. Okay.
If he ever loses that notebook, randomly write random stuff in there for her. So she'll
Oh.
be mad at the grass for no reason in the back corner of her yard.
Be best friends. X meant to you or the larger community. So we're gonna look at a couple and then you are gonna write your own. Okay, so Matthew Oldsman is one of my favorite environmental poets. Well, I shouldn't just pigeonhole him into environmental poems, but he does write these kinds of poems. So he's writing a letter to the person who carved his initials into the oldest living longleaf pine in North America. This Southern Pines, North Carolina. Tell me, and they can be very snarky. This is why I love epistolary poems. Tell me what it's like to live without curiosity, without awe, to sail on clear water, rolling your eyes at the kelp reef swaying beneath you, ignoring the flicker of mermaid scales in the mist, looking at the world and feeling only boredom. To stand on the precipice of some wild valley, the eagle circling, a herd of caribou booming below, and to yawn with indifference. To discover something primordial and holy, to have the smell of the earth welcome you to everywhere, to take it all in, and then to reach for your knife. So he sees this tree and somebody has carved their initials into the oldest living longleaf pine in North America. And this is what they thought to do. Oh, let me just carve my initials in here. So this is what an epistolary poem can do. I won't read through the whole of this one, but you should look this up. Letter to Someone Living 50 Years From Now. And it's really about all the things that pollution have done. Most likely you think we hated the elephant, the golden toad, the thylacine, and all variations of whale harpooned or hacked into extinction. It must seem like we sought to leave you nothing but benzene, mercury, the stomachs of seagulls rippled with jet fuel and plastic. So another thing you can do is you can do all sorts of research and you can take all kind of really interesting facts. I love scientific facts. No, I love all kinds of natural facts. My favorite thing to write about, because I'm an American lit professor, is history, and to weave history into my poetry. Actual history, like you go to the archives and research things. And so that's what he's done. And so at the end, he says, there were bees back then, And they pollinated a euphoria of flowers. So we might contemplate the great mysteries and finally ask, hey guys, what's transcendence? Which is such a smart line if you know anything, particularly, okay, about American transcendentalism, right? That you go, nature is our teacher, you go into nature and nature inspires you. And then all the bees were dead. Also meaning that there's nobody living 50 years from now.
Right? That's what I was gonna say.
We're dead too. We're dead too.
These are gone, so are we.
So are we. So here too from Lucille Clifton, she imagines a note to Clark Kent and then one to Superman, right? And of course, my favorite thing is pointing out the bad guys, dreaming your X-ray vision could see the beauty in me. What did I expect, right? And Langston Hughes just writes a note to his mama, dear mama, time I pay rent and get my food and laundry, I don't have much left, but here is $5 for you to show you I still appreciate you. So it can be very much like a letter. Okay. So what I'm going to ask you to do, oops, sorry. What I'm going to ask you to do is to write an epistolary poem addressing any of these, and I'll leave this up. An important friend you haven't seen in 10 years or more. What would you say to him or her? A stranger you saw once. There's a great poem called To the Woman Crying in the Stall Next to Me, where she imagines his whole life for this woman. A stranger you saw once. Maybe they did something you didn't like, or you did. A famous person or character. A historical figure. A person long dead. Could be an ancestor, could be somebody you don't know, could be very long dead. A former significant other. Dear George, how you like me? When you dumped me at the prom. And I became a queen, right? A teacher you loved or hated, someone who has done you wrong, someone you have done wrong. A concept like to love, to happiness, to meanness, to wisdom. An object like your pet. Your cat. Holly's cat. A fish, a tree, a lamp, a pillow, a house that has witnessed something significant to you or that has meant something. We took a group of students to Dachau and the concentration camp, and students were standing in the yard there, and some of the students began weeping, and we said, why are you crying? And they said, because we realized the trees that are here were there at the time those people were being brutalized. And so to write to one of those trees, to your future or past self, between poets or friends, to a poet you admire, or to one you don't know, or to one you would like to admire. So let's take a few minutes and write. Just think about direct address. What do you want to say to that person? Don't worry about if it's beautiful or perfect. It's the draft. Okay. Finish your last thought. Your last sentence. All right, let's stop here. You can put a pin in it, finish. It looks like y'all were writing really good. Anybody want to share? We'll start on this side of the classroom since y'all were so quiet last time. Sharing. Look, it's a draft. We're not looking for, yes, great, perfect.
You're a nursing student. I'm so sorry, but COVID is going to steal your joy. The love and passion you have for taking care of others will be gone so quickly, you don't even see it leaving. You will hold the hands of so many as they take their final breath. Your dreams will be haunted by the wailing of the loved ones you couldn't take. There will be certain sounds that take you back to room 301, the room with COVID so many. One single disease process is going to make you hate a pill you once loved. I'm so sorry. In time, you will find happiness and learn their next and your all.
Wow. That's beautiful. Ooh, wow. Yeah, certainly.
Actually, never met them.
No, you sure?
You guys have to.
Yes.
Dear future husband,
Yeah.
I pray you come whole, not perfect, but present. Not just a man with plans, but one who can pause and hold a moment with both of your hands.
Ooh.
I'm not waiting to be rescued. I've already done that work. But I do desire a partner who knows how to match my energy and pour back into my cup, even though it's already overflowing.
Oh.
I wear sparkle and camo on the same day at the same time, honey. So praise God in the morning, and I laugh loud over brunch. I am soft, but I've survived things that taught me how to stand without asking. So don't come with empty promises or potential I have to pull from you. Come healed, come grown, and come ready. Find me where the joy is. I'll be here, ready when you get here.
Oh, yeah. Yes. So, I think this gave you a good start. It also shows you you can begin to write a poem in 5 minutes. That's all it takes. I'm gonna end with my, the epistolary poem I wrote. Yes. And so one of the things, this is a good way, and I love that you read the poem about having your students deal with death. Because this, epistolary poems are also a really good way to write about very hard subjects. So this was the first poem I wrote after my husband and I lost one of our children 2 years ago. He died in his sleep. And so this was the first poem I wrote about that, trying to get back to writing poetry. And it's the epistolary poem to my son. Do you remember when you were 4 and we were on the airplane ascending and into heaven, and you freaked out because you did not want to ascend at that moment? And I freaked out, afraid too of the swiftness and roar of engines in which I had no faith. And when I came to my senses, maybe 5 seconds later, you refused to let me hold your hand, angry I had left you in your time of need. Transgressions like this one are all I think of these days. And of course, my stunning absence, the night you lay on your bed and died. Were you, a full-grown man, more willing to be lifted into that unknown expanse? Were you afraid? Did you reach again for my missing hand and forgive me for all the times I failed? All right. Thank you so much for your time and attention.
You know what? Thank you so much for